You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 21st of November. PM Modi embarks on visit to South Africa to attend G20 summit. Afghanistan's Taliban government urges India to strengthen trade ties. And activist accuses Pakistan of genocide-scale repression in Balochistan. And now for all the details. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarked on a 3-day visit to South Africa to attend the G20 summit. The summit, which is being hosted by South Africa for the first time, will be held in Johannesburg. During his visit, the Prime Minister will also attend the 6th IBSA summit, where leaders of India, Brazil and South Africa will discuss strengthening trilateral cooperation in areas of mutual interest. PM Modi is also scheduled to address members of the Indian community at the special event. In a departure statement issued before boarding his flight, that he noted that the summit, themed Solidarity, Equality and Sustainability, builds on the outcomes of previous G20 meetings held in New Delhi and Rio de Janeiro. He said he would present India's perspective at the summit, framed by the philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and One Earth, One Family and One Future. Afghanistan's Taliban-led government has urged India to scale up trade and open cargo hubs in the territory as it seeks trade alternatives to Pakistan and strengthens ties with New Delhi. Taliban's Commerce Minister Nuruddin Azizi, who is on his first official visit to India, asked the country to help set up scheduled shipping services to move Afghan goods through the Indian-operated Chabahar port in Iran. Azizi met India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar and the Minister of State for Commerce, Jitin Prasad, to discuss investment, joint ventures and expanding opportunities for Afghan exporters. Jaishankar on X said they discussed expanding trade and connectivity, and he reiterated India's support for Afghanistan's development. Azizi also suggested India to develop dry ports in Afghanistan's Nimroz province bordering Iran and ease cargo processing at Nhava Sheva, India's largest container port near Mumbai. Afghanistan has redirected more goods to Iran and Central Asia in recent months after armed clashes shut ski crossings with Pakistan. On Friday, Azizi also attended an interactive session with India's business leaders to strengthen bilateral trade and explore opportunities. And Baloch activist Mehran Murray has accused Pakistan's military of genocide-level repression and transnational aggression in Balochistan. He has urged the global community to reject Pakistan's narrative and acknowledge the Baloch fight for dignity and rights.
Baloch leader Mehran Murray has sharply criticized Pakistan's human rights record, alleging enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, and arbitrary detentions that he calls genocide at full escalation. Speaking to ANI, he said the situation in Balochistan has become extremely grim, reflecting decades of repression. Murray accused Pakistan of masking military crackdowns as counterinsurgency operations while suppressing political aspirations rooted in sovereignty and dignity. He urged the international community not to accept Pakistan's portrayal of the Baloch struggle as terrorism.
The current situation is very grim, as it has been in the recent past. I think genocide is at full escalation. Ethnic cleansing has been order of the day. Crimes against humanity are committed in Balochistan by the NAPAK army and its intelligence agencies on a daily basis. I mean, now is a new trend of transnational aggression as well. As you can see, they have no respect for any boundaries or borders. In India, they commit atrocities. In Afghanistan, they're committing atrocities, and they're targeting Baloch refugees in Afghanistan now. I call it transnational aggression, and that's what it is. So they have really lost all sense and sensibility, the NAPAK army. I think a bit of cushioning up with the United States and the backing of China has really overinflated their egos. And they believe that they are the Israel of the East. And I think they're very wrong in thinking so.
Mari criticized Pakistan's shipment of rare earth minerals to the U.S., alleging Balochistan's resources are exploited like stolen goods, without benefiting locals. He urged global rules similar to conflict diamond regulations, noting that despite vast mineral wealth, Balochistan remains among Pakistan's poorest regions, an imbalance he blames on illegal occupation.
They don't, I mean, of course, they need the landmass of Balochistan, they need the ports and everything else, but the looting of resources is their primary objective. And we have to, think of it from different ways. We cannot always blame the NAPAC establishment in the army. We have to blame the international community. They should not be dealing in stolen goods. These are stolen goods from the nation of Balochistan. Just like there's blood diamonds, there's international regulations against buying blood diamonds, there should be international regulation, and the international community and big countries should abide by those regulations and international law of not purchasing or being gifted stolen goods, which is stolen from Balochistan by the NAPAC army.
And at least 3 people were killed and several injured after a magnitude 5.7 earthquake struck Bangladesh on Friday, police said. Tremors were also felt in India's eastern states that border Bangladesh. The United States Geological Survey said the earthquake's epicenter was in the city of Narsingri, about 40 kilometers east of capital Dhaka. The German Research Center for Geosciences said the epicenter was at a depth of 10 kilometers. Residents rushed out of their homes in Dhaka as buildings shook and some makeshift structures collapsed. Local media showed pictures of people carrying their children and helping senior citizens out of their homes as the tremors caused panic.
মানে এটা হচ্ছে আমাদের তো ভূমিকম্প হচ্ছে আরো তো তীব্র মাত্রা হয়েছিল, কিন্তু আজকে যে ভূমিকম্পটা হয়েছে সেটা কখনো অনুভূতি করিনি গত 30 বছরের মধ্যে। আর মানে আমরা তো তখন অফিস করছিলাম, অফিস করার মাঝখানেই হচ্ছে ভূমিকম্পটা হয়, আর তখনই দেখি যে আমরা হচ্ছে সব চেয়ার টেবিল সব কাঁপাকাঁপি শুরু হয়ে যায়। তো আমরা হচ্ছে পরে যখন দৌড় দিয়ে নামি দেখি যে সবাই হচ্ছে রাস্তায় নেমে গেছে। আর ভূমিকম্পটা এত তীব্র ছিল যেটা আগে কখনো অনুভূতি করা হয়নি।
I've never felt an earthquake like this before. Never in my life. Like this was the first time. I was sleeping basically, and like all of a sudden I felt the whole building shaking, and then we all came down. That's it.
Moving on, Nepal CPN UML Senior Vice Chair Ishwar Pokhrel has formally entered the race for the party's top post, setting up a direct challenge to former PM KP Sharma Oli. Pokhrel announced his bid during Thursday's Secretariat meeting, the first such gathering since the Gen Z uprising in September. Party insiders say Pokhrel, backed by a bloc of leaders and former President Bidya Devi Bhandari, urged Oli to step aside and assume an advisory role in the party. Oli, however, signalled no intention of giving up control. The UML leadership is preparing for its 11th National General Convention scheduled for December 13 to 15, where delegates will elect new office bearers. Oli's position within the party has been weakened since the Gen Z protest in early September. As a Prime Minister at that time, Oli became the primary target of public anger and was eventually airlifted from the PM's residence amid escalating unrest. Tibetans in exile have greeted the news with joy as the Dalai Lama's album titled Meditations, The Reflections of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, earned a Grammy nomination and said that the album would help build a new audience in the areas of music and art. The work, which reflects the Dalai Lama's teachings, is a collaboration between the spiritual leader, celebrated Indian sarod player Amjad Ali Khan and his 2 sons. The Dalai Lama has been living in exile in India's Dharamshala town since 1959 following a failed uprising against Chinese rule in Tibet.
I would say that this would certainly ensure a new set of audiences, especially in music and art, to recognize his words, the wisdom that he's been sharing, and the human values of love, compassion, and oneness that he's been propagating and trying to spread across the world.
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.